Well, hello YouTube. How are you? I'm so grateful to have you here. I have had so many requests for this Baywatch swimsuit that I put on last year. However, I had to take the video down that I posted on YouTube because it was not advertised friendly. And I just wanted to come on here today and tell you that that's why I started the Patreon, was because all of you guys wanted to see this and I had nowhere to put it. So I started the Patreon, and so I do like a show here on YouTube, and then I do after the show, I call it. You know how Wendy Williams has after the show? Well, I call that my after the show on my Patreon, because that way I don't get this channel deleted. And for those of you that don't want to see that kind of content, this is a perfect place for you. You can stay here. It's advertiser friendly. I don't show too much. And I just hang out in my hot tub and just do fun things. I'm just happy to report we're going to be opening up our pool this weekend, so I'm really excited about that, my husband and I. And anyway, I'm taping this highly requested swimsuit video, this Baywatch beauty video for YouTube. And I thought, for Patreon, I have an area over there that you can request videos that you want to see. Outfits you've seen me in, things that I'm can't show on YouTube. I have a place over there, and so you can actually go on there and you can request. And this one I had posted on a Connect Pal video, my Baywatch swimsuit, curvy Baywatch model, and then I deleted it because I deleted my every once in a while I feel like life is about change, and I feel like when you're growing and you're getting more subscribers and stuff like that, that you need to move and go where the people are. And Patreon was so popular that I thought, okay, I'm going to try Patreon. Well, then it gets to be too many places. I'm getting having to do too many things, and it gets to be too crazy and too stressful. So I deleted my Connect Pal, and now I only have my YouTube, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Patreon, and my tip snaps. I have a tip snaps as well, and those are the only places that I post things. If you see anything anywhere else, it's not me, it's somebody stealing my videos, which happens. There are creeps out there that steal stuff, and that's a process. So today I wanted to make this an assumptions video. I've seen around YouTube many people making assumption videos, and normally they're reading them off their computer or looking at the comments, but I have them right here because they ask them all the time. And so I just wanted to kind of go through as many as I can think of right now, the biggest ones that I get asked, and just kind of go over them with you today on assumptions of me. That way you'll hear it from my eyes, from my voice, of what's true and what's not true. I have learned that not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody's going to understand you. Not everybody is going to agree with your lifestyle choices, including my neighbors that build a huge 7-foot, 8-foot fence next door just so they don't have to watch me swim in my bikinis, which is great. I love it. I don't have to agree with them, and they don't have to agree with me. Well, the same as the comments. They can say whatever they want, and that's their choice. But what I know in my heart and what is true in my heart is all that matters. And so some of the questions, let's get right into it. The assumptions that I get are you a swinger? No. Are you a porn star? No. If you want to call making Patreon videos a porn star, then so be it. But what I call a porn star is people actually having sex on camera, and that's what I call porn stars. I don't consider myself a porn star. I'm 48 years old. I just happen to like to make videos. And how I started was I started making these fashion videos on here, and I started making YouTube videos. And then all of a sudden I kept on getting so many requests. You should do workout videos in your bikinis. You should do swimsuit videos. You should do, and I posted a couple, and I have to tell you, at the very beginning, I was terrified to post videos like that because yes, I had kids, and yes, I worried. I still had them at home, and I worried about what everybody would say. And I have to tell you that the most freeing thing I've done in my life is to stop worrying about what everybody else is going to think of you, and start living a life that you feel comfortable with. And I tell you, that has been the biggest freeing thing for me, is to just allow myself to do what I feel like is okay. And to me, I grew up with really abusive alcoholic parents, shameful. I never liked my body. I always had low self-esteem. I've told you 100 times over that after I had my kids, I always covered up. I was always embarrassed of my body, and it affected me in so many areas. And then finally I had breast cancer, and I'm like, I almost died. I feel like I almost died. And for a while I felt so unattractive and so unsexy, because I did have to get part of my boob, and many of you will comment and say, your right one's bigger than your left one, and it's true, and I can't hide that, and I don't want to hide that, because that's part of my life. And I think our life tells a story. And I'm here because I am not ashamed anymore of my voice and to tell my story. My story is important. And so that's why I come on here and I do these type of videos, because my life is my story, and I only get one more chance to make it my story. And for years, and then people will say, are you married? Are you a kept woman? I don't think you really have a husband. And it's just so funny to read. At first I was annoyed, when I first started YouTube. I was like, oh gosh, people are just like calling me a drunk and this and that. And you have to remember that people are going to think what they want to think, just like they think of stars or anything else. But you know in your heart what's real and what's right. And only your closest people in your life know the true you. And so when I think of it that way, I think of, I don't care anymore, of what people think of me, because I know what's true in my heart, and I know what I'm doing is right for me now. And for many years, it was just my husband working, and I took care of the kids, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had no money. And I always felt bad because I had to ask him. It was almost like a daddy-daughter relationship. I always had to ask my husband, can I have some money? Or and it was just, after a while, it was like, my kids were in high school, and there for a while, I walked out of the relationship with $1 in my hand, and my oldest son helped me get out of the relationship, and I thought that that's what I wanted. So I went and lived in an apartment for about 6 months, and just kind of had that as a self-discovery time. Well, that whole time, my husband never let me go. He always came and brought me flowers, and just did not want it to end, and was willing to put in the work to make our relationship better. And then when I finally did come back to my house and tried to work on my marriage, I applied to be a bus driver again, because it was time for my two younger kids to get their driver's license, and I knew I needed to help, and I needed to get them their driving school, and we needed to get them cars. And we just needed to pay off some bills, and my garbage cans got repossessed when I moved back, and it was just like starting all over again. But I knew at that point in my life that I would never ever be in that vulnerable position of having to depend on someone else for money. And that's when I decided to come back, and I worked as a bus driver for a couple years, and every day I hated it. I put all the money back into the kids, and I got through what I needed to get through, and caught up on bills, and did all that. I did what I needed to do. I've always done what I needed to do, and what I felt was right, and what I felt that others would approve. And I always, back in my mind, was always seeking the approval of my alcoholic mother that I never would have ever gotten, ever. So when I came to this point in my life, and I told my husband, I said, every day I have people asking me to do private videos. Every day I have people wanting me to do bikinis on a ball and workout videos in my bikini. And I'm going to try it. And my husband looked at me and he said, that's crazy. Nobody is ever gonna, you're not gonna be successful at that. Why would you even want to consider that? There's millions of people doing that all over the world on the internet, trashy people. Why would you put yourself in that situation? And I said, I don't know, but I laid in bed thinking about it and processing it. And I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I can start this little subscription business or whatever, and people will hate it, and then I'll stop. But at least I'll know, you know? And that's kind of the point in my life. And so I came back in the relationship and I said, I had a lot of secrets before, and we used to keep secrets from each other, and I used to keep secrets from him. And I thought, if I'm gonna make a healthy marriage the second time around, I'm not gonna keep secrets anymore. I'm gonna tell my deepest, darkest secrets to him. And if he accepts me, then great. And if he doesn't, great, then I'll just move out again. So I told him that this is what I wanted to do. And I told him, obviously, I cannot do this without telling you first, because I know how the internet works. The minute you put out a video, it's going to be out there, and there's no hiding it. So we had a discussion, and he said, okay. And then I started out just doing little secretary videos, and he wanted to see them because he couldn't believe that I was actually selling these videos. A dumb secretary, I think, was one of my very first requests, and people started requesting, you know, act like a dumb secretary, bend over, you know, wear no bra under a red dress, and just silly stuff like that, just fantasy play. And so I did that, and then my husband wanted to see the videos because he thought, there's no way you could be making money off of that. You must be doing more, you must be showing more. And I said no, and so I started showing him, and then as I grew, I just had this little website that I used to send out the videos, and that's when a lot of my videos got leaked because I wasn't putting a no download on them, and anybody could get them, and that sort of thing. And as you go through any type of business, whatever it is, you experience the highs and the lows and what to do and what not to do, and you grow and learn from that. And then from there, someday I'm going to write a book, because I just find that this is something that obviously not all 40 or 8-year-old women do that have been dedicated to raising their family and one marriage for 25 years. And so I would definitely like to write a book and tell my story. So that'll be in my future. And also, I would say to you all, don't be afraid to try something that you're fearful of, because I've always said is sometimes it's the dumbest ideas that make you successful, or that are successful, like an invention that nobody else has thought of, or ideas like this. But as I've grown and as I've listened to my subscribers here, you guys have told me what you want, and then as YouTube has grown, they have told me what I can and what I can't do here on YouTube, and I want to be respectful of that. And so I hope you understand the reason why I post mainly PG videos here now is because I want to be respectful, and I want to keep my page open to people who really enjoy my content. And so anyway, there's been more and more assumptions of me, but that's my story. I'm pretty boring. I stay home all the time. I'm a homebody. I don't have very many friends, and I like it that way because I'm a one-woman machine. I really like to work by myself. I find that I'm very creative by myself. Ideas will come to me, and then subscribers will send me ideas. And I just like to work by myself. I'm my cameraman, I'm my manager, I'm my editor, I'm everything. I do it all. And I like it that way. Now, if I were to ever grow to millions, I don't know. Ask me then. But as of right now, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. I do my best to just only do what I can do and not stress myself out. I take the days to nourish my body when I need to, and take de-stressor days off. And also the most important thing is I no longer have to, and somebody asked, am I a kept woman? No, I'm not a kept woman. I pay my own bills. I don't have to ask my husband for any money. I manage my own life and my own bills. Since doing this, I put in a lot of money back into my videos on Patreon. With costumes, you know, I'm always having to get new lingerie and costumes, and my husband does a lot of that for me, the ordering part, which has been great. So if you could say he's kind of my manager, he knows what I do, he watches my stuff, he likes what I do. And it also brings our marriage closer because he gets a free show every day on Snapchat. And he gets to watch any videos he wants, and there's no secrets. And I think in a relationship, the most important thing in a good, healthy relationship is not to have secrets. As we change in a relationship and as we grow, we should be able to be honest in our relationship and tell them when we're changing and when we're wanting to explore different fantasies. And I feel like that's truly growth and healthy, is when you allow your partner to do what they feel led to do, and you just enjoy the ride. And that's what he's done. He is a quiet person. He does not like to be on camera. He has a really private job. He's a really private person, and I've allowed him to have that space, and he's allowed me to do what I need to do with my videos, and I've been pretty successful with it. And so I'm grateful every day. And I went into this business knowing at any day it could stop. At any day, people could get tired of me, and that's okay, because I'm a big saver. I save my money. I don't live outside my means. We live in a little tiny house, and I love that. My intention is to pay it off, so that if anything does happen and I choose not to work, I'll be okay. We'll be okay. So everything I'm doing is investing into my future, and I'm having a great time enjoying the ride. And so if there's any other assumptions that you have for me or questions, feel free to leave them below. I would love to answer your questions in the comment section. So have a beautiful day. And as always, thank you so much for watching all my content and liking my content and subscribing. Have a beautiful day.